Time now for the Educated Retirement Show with your host, Jay Kaplan. Jay discusses reverse mortgages and can answer your questions at 951-922-3532. Call lines are open at 951-922-3532. And now here's Jay.
And here's Jay, and I are the producer of this show. I always wanted to be a director when I grew up, but that didn't work out. So now I'm a producer. How you like them apples? But to get down to apples, welcome, please, to the Educated Retirement Radio here on KMET 1490 AM, where we contemplate retirement and how to best prepare for that retirement and how to best stay successfully retired. And even if you're not retired, how to best stay successfully, hopefully happy and specifically financially sound during those years. So remember, absolutely meet your retirement needs by topping off your tank so you can make it all the way. Remember, the future is now. And why? Because knowledge is power. And our off-air phone number is 866-955-2233, 866-955-2233. And there is a picture of it because I like pictures, and I still like picture books. How about you? And believe me, my website is pretty good and entertaining, I think. And here it be. Now, this is the easy way to get to it. And don't be confused by the doctor. There's no period after DR. I guess I could still see if I could do that and have it that way also. Good point. Dr. Heckham, DRHECM, Home Equity Conversion Mortgage, or the name of this show, www.theeducatedretirement.com. And we have possibly two guests. One was kind of last minute, so we'll see. At 3:30, one, another one at 4. The great doctors from Golden Years who are kind of like, I don't know, I hope you feel the same. They're like friends. It's like coming home, like, but and we'll see. And then at 3:30 we have somebody to talk about I hate to use the word taxes today, but what to do if you have a tax problem, kind of thing. So remember, if you go to that website, there's lots of good stuff on it. I'm going to skip over a lot of that right now because we might be short of time if we have the two guests. And we'll be long on time if we don't, or kind of long in the tooth like I am. But we do absolutely want to talk about other great friends that have shows on KMET that we need to give a shout out, and, more than just a shout out and a recommendation. It's, very important people. And Let Grandpa Speak is the best. To me, it's the only way to start your Saturday morning at 9 a.m. To make you feel good for the weekend, which is what you got to do. You wake up on Saturday morning, and you should feel good anyway, but if you want that to last, you listen and watch Grandpa. And, like I said, he's on 9 a.m. every Saturday morning. And the Southern California Business Report with Daryl McCants, along with Yvette Walker. Met Daryl in person like we used to do once a week back before all the lockdown happened. And always have a great time with him. And if you think I talk a lot, well, anyway, he has that show with Yvette. And they're actually, both of them are repeat offenders on this show. And they're on every Tuesday at 4 p.m. And they always, of course, give a plug for this show and call me a part of their advisory board, along with Bill Morris from UCI. And, of course, don't forget the Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show, also here on KMET, the world famous Ron Siegel. And he's Monday through Friday at 6 p.m. And I'm on his show just about every single month. I have to check when the next one is. But remember, knowledge is power. And I do have a day job, and I know you say thankfully, thank God that he's got a real job. And that is a loan officer at the loan source. And my NMLS number, which is for California, lending license is 384565. Department of Real Estate, I do not sell real estate, but I do like to stay on top of it. So I still have a license, and that number is 792630. If you look back to see how old that number, well, you don't want to do that because I'm old. But what is today? Today is a very special day, and we should all look at every day as a very special day. Eat a pretzel day. I do a lot of those almost every day. Twisted into a not salted or plain, and sometimes they're straight though. Served with mustard or cheese. Those are the big soft ones. Many types of pretzels and ways to eat them. And eat them we will, as it is, eat a pretzel day. And here is a bowl of pretzels. Kind of looks like a dog feeding dish, but I won't. And I would love to have one, but since I don't have very many teeth, I'd be chewing it until our first break. So pretzel may be the world's oldest snack, and the legend has it that an Italian monk invented the soft variety when he rolled and baked thin strips of dough into the shape of arms folded in prayer. I have heard that before. Later, they became known as good luck. Pretzel baking remains popular everywhere as varieties uh, are made to be served with slices of cold meat or cheese. Pretzels are made of a simple mixture of water, flour, and salt, and they can be baked or fried. Are high in sodium, and if that ain't enough, they put them too. And soft pretzels are often brushed with butter before salt is added. So different ways you can eat your pretzels is dip them in hummus, make a trail mix, add them to your favorite cookie. Of course, you have to be on trail to be a trail mix. Make cheese balls, dip them in chocolate, and where's the chocolate? Caramel or peanut butter, and make pretzel chocolate bark. The possibilities are endless. And, they do come, not, I need to open it, but I just wanted to show. This is one variety of dark chocolate pretzels. And, I really like those pretzel chunks with peanut butter inside.
Oh, yeah.
And here at this household, we call them moon rocks. I can't tell you why. But did you know the largest pretzel weighed 1,728 pounds and I ate it, over 29 feet long, 13 feet wide, and made by a bakery in El Salvador in 2015. The Sturgis Pretzel House of Lititz, Lititz, in Pennsylvania, was founded in 1861 and is the oldest commercial pretzel bakery in the United States and is a tourist attraction. About 80% of all pretzels sold in this country come from Pennsylvania. Okay, it is estimated that Americans consume about 2 pounds of pretzels each year. I think I do that each day.
Yeah, that's not
That doesn't seem like much.
No.
Anyway, today is... Huh? What do you think? Huh? How does that compare with me? I think pretty good. Wombat Day. Boy, that's a cutie. And so is this. So we're not going to talk much about reverse mortgages because we got two guests. So we'll talk about wombats. Let's salute this amazing creature. He is a short-legged, no kidding, muscular, nocturnal marsupial native to Australia. He feeds on herbs, grasses, bark, the kind with pretzels in it, I assume, and roots. Grows to about, wow, 40 inches long and weigh up to 77 pounds. I had it in my mind differently. But did you know wombats were once rhino-sized about 2.5 million years ago? They were estimated to weigh around 3 tons. Where'd that picture go? I'd like to see that at 3 tons. Huh? How would you feel if somebody like this weighed 3 tons and came up to say hello, huh? Anyway, because of their diet of scrubs and bark, they take about 2 weeks to fully digest a meal, and their teeth grow continuously to make up for the constant wear. Wow. Their rear ends, or butts as it's sometimes referred to, are mostly cartilage, which makes them resistant to predators' bites and scratches. Didn't know that that was the point of attack. But anyway, at the end of a chase, they dive into their burrows and block the entrances with their butts. So I guess on a bad day, or I should just take my butt and put it in the front door and be like a wombat. But, we'll rush along to talk about famous people's birthdays. Like I said, we'll stay away from the infomercial about, oh, hello, Jackie. Jackie's watching there. On, for reverse mortgages. So Christopher Lloyd was born October 22nd, which is pretty close to today, 1938. And I'm sure we all know who he is. And there he is. And yeah, pretty young, but he's still got that look. And anything else we got? Oh, this could be from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, I'm thinking. You know what I mean? He's got a very serious cuckoo look to him there. So I'm thinking that's probably from there. And we got a couple more here. Oh, here he is as the thinker, right? Or the stinker. No, the thinker. Up higher? Okay, up higher it is. So our delay is a little bit longer on the thing, so I can't really see whether I'm doing this right. But let's figure I am. And
You want these now?
yeah, why not? We'll take up some pictures. Here he is with who with?
Goldblum.
Oh yeah, of course, I see that now. Jeff Goldblum and Christopher Lloyd. There they are. Togetherness. And let me kind of get that straight. Or straight-ish, anyway. Get it a little closer, a little farther. And one last picture of kind of the way, he's probably older than that now, but this is kind of the way we probably remember him. Christopher Allen Lloyd is, of course, an American actor who's appeared in theater, films, television. He was born in Stamford, Connecticut. His mother was a singer. His father was a lawyer. And Christopher attended Staples High School in Westport and was involved in founding the high school's theater company, the Staples Players. And now they have a Staples Center in LA that's named after him, no doubt. He began his career apprenticing at summer theaters in New York and Massachusetts, and he took acting classes and made his Broadway debut in 1969 and continued off-Broadway plays. Lloyd was later had his first major role was One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, and several other films and television roles followed. His role in Taxi rewarded him with 2 Primetime Emmy Awards for Outstanding Supporting Actor. And he starred in over 90 films, won 3 Primetime Emmy Awards, 2 of them for TV's Taxi, we're talking about we don't want to talk about taxes today. Did you know Lloyd lived in a psychiatric hospital for several weeks to prepare for his role in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest? All he had to do is move in with me over here, would have been the same thing. He was considered to play Jack Torrance in The Shining. Hmm. I bet he would have been good, but quite a bit different. He based his portrayal of Doc Brown's affluence of fluffy white hair on Albert Einstein and Leopold Stokowski. Really, we're talking return Back to the Future franchise. I just listened to some Stokowski stuff the other day. We can talk about him another time. He was a little bit different when it came to presenting music. Anyway, Lloyd has appeared in over 200 plays. And he's a devoted bicycle. And I look at my bicycle once in a while, and once rode through Italy, pedaling from Milan to Venice to Naples, and wow, that's a long way. Milan to Venice is enough, and then down to Naples. Anyway. He said one of his favorite roles was the Klingon commander Krudge in Star Trek III: In Search of Spock. He appeared in 3 films that have been selected for the National Registry of the Library of Congress: One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, Back to the Future, and Who Framed Roger Rabbit. 3 amazingly great films. And here's a short list of Christopher Lloyd's films. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, which I got somewhere, but 1975, director Milos Forman starred Jack Nicholson, Danny DeVito, and film nominated for 9 Oscars and won 5, including Best Picture. Star Trek III: The Search for Spock, 1983, directed by Leonard Nimoy, starred the Star Trek cast, and The Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai, Across the Eighth Dimension, 1984. Now, I really enjoyed this, and there he is, if you can see. Also, you might see Jeff Goldblum in there, too. And who knows what, and of course, and they ended this film as if there was going to be a sequel, and unfortunately, there wasn't a sequel. And on the back, you see a special vehicle that goes through solid rock, but it kind of looks like a Back to the Future car. But oh, you know what? We've got that special. Well, we won't need it now, but that was directed by W.D. Richter, starred Peter Weller, Jeff Goldblum, Ellen Barkin, and as the bad guy in it, what's his name?
Lithgow.
Yeah, John Lithgow.
John Lithgow.
Yeah, who was really good in it. Back to the Future, 1985.
Oh, I didn't.
And here is Back to the Future. Well, 3. We got them all, but here's one. And this was maybe my favorite of the 3, however. This was the one with the train and the, they had 2 children, one Jules and the other was Vern. And anyway, there you go. Robert Zemeckis, who did all 3, I believe, starring Michael J. Fox. Film nominated for 4 Academy Awards and won 1. And I'm pretty sure that's the first one we're talking about.
Christopher Lloyd said that this was the only film he ever did in his entire career where he had an on-screen kiss.
Oh, and Christopher Lloyd said it's the only film he ever did that had an on-screen kiss. So if you want to kiss him, give him a call. Who Framed Roger Rabbit, 1988. Love it. Roger Zemeckis, again starring Kathleen Turner, Bob Hoskins. Film nominated for 7 Academy Awards and won 4 of them. How do you like that?
Lloyd right there.
What's that?
Christopher Lloyd right
there. Oh, yeah, there's Christopher Lloyd right there. And how do you feel, NASA Nelly, about doing your thing right now?
Sure.
Because we've got a few minutes before break time, and that's because I yapped so fast. I could go back and talk about myself and reverse mortgages, but let's not do it. Uh, well, I can certainly talk a lot more about Who Framed Roger Rabbit, but I won't. I'll take me a cup of coffee. Oh, and we didn't check out your. Well, that's all right. Next time we'll check out your microphone.
Mm-hmm.
So here comes NASA Nellie. All right, take it away, NASA Nellie.
UFOs over Tuscany. In 1954, we were watching Creature of the Black Lagoon, Them, and Dial M for Murder. But on October 27th, thousands of Italians were watching something quite different. It was on this crisp autumn day when football fans in Tuscany, Italy, witnessed a sight truly out of this world and one they will never forget. In the middle of the local football game, all action literally stopped. Everything fell eerily silent. Spectators in the stands were no longer watching the football match. They were looking up, pointing towards the sky, watching several cigar-shaped objects fly over the stadium. The players even stopped playing. The ball rolled to a standstill when the flying objects shed silvery glitter-type material down to earth. A lifelong fan, Gigi Bani, saw things a little differently. He said, "I remember clearly seeing this incredible sight. They were moving very fast and then they just stopped. I would describe them as being like Cuban cigars in the way they looked. I think they were extraterrestrial. That's what I believe, and there's no other explanation I can give myself." We were astonished. We had never seen anything like it before. We were absolutely shocked. The play was suspended because the spectators were so amazed by what they were looking at. Another player, Romolo Tucci, said, "In those years, everybody was talking about aliens. Everybody was talking UFOs, and we had the experience. We saw them, and we saw them directly for real. I was spellbound." It was reported that the incident at the stadium could not simply be interpreted as mass hysteria, as there were numerous UFO sightings in many towns across Tuscany that day and over the days that followed. Roberto Panuti, said the president of Italy's National UFO Center, said that the players and the public were stunned seeing these objects above the stadium. He said that it was an intelligent phenomenon that cannot be linked with anything we know on Earth, and he was intrigued by the material that fell from the sky. A journalist from Florentine newspaper, Giorgio Bettini, received hundreds of calls about the incident. He immediately began his investigation and found this white glittery type material all over. Homes and streets were covered like snow, but it wasn't snow. He gathered samples and took them to the Institute of Chemical Analysis at the University of Florence. It was difficult to collect, and it seemed to disintegrate almost immediately after handling it. The lab scientist's conclusion through spectrographic testing was that the material contained elements that were not the webs made by spiders, which some had believed. Spider silk is a protein, not the elements in the samples Bettini and others brought to the university. It was reportedly found that the substance was unlike anything from this earth. Many similar UFO sightings followed for weeks all over Europe, mainly France and northern Italy. The witnesses of the event of that stadium to this day still feel the hovering crafts were maneuvered under some sort of intelligence and were extraterrestrial.
Well, thank you, NASA Nellie, for your surprise, because we kind of slid you in up front there. I love this picture. I just think this is a great picture. And although I didn't understand what this was about,
That was the substance.
now I do, after being educated by NASA Nellie. And again, this looks like the cover of a magazine or something, a drawing, but it's really nice. I know we've shown this before. Whether it was about the same story or not, I don't remember. But then again, I don't. Our birthdays, our famous people's birthdays. And the next one is Jeff Goldblum. Blum? I don't know how he pronounces it.
Goldblum.
Goldblum. So he's blooming in gold. And he came into this world October 22nd, 1952. So he's 2 years younger than you are.
Mhm.
And so he's getting up. Oh, sorry about that. Sorry. My director, directors have a lot of control and they could really make a mess out of the show. Anyway, Jeffrey Lynn Goldblum is an American actor and musician, which is something you may or may not know. We'll get a little bit more into that. He was born to Jewish parents, and he still survived in West Homestead, Pennsylvania. His mother was a radio broadcaster who later ran a kitchen equipment sales firm, and his father was a medical doctor and major in the U.S. Army. So during his childhood, he attended an Orthodox, I can't even say it, which is a good thing, Orthodox synagogue, which yet his family also celebrated Christmas and was raised to believe in Santa Claus. Well, that was kind of my story too, exactly. So, but never in an Orthodox. That's just too much. His parents were interested in show business, and he had a sister and two brothers. One of his brothers, Rick, died in 1971 at 23 while traveling to Morocco, having contracted. You don't want to do a contract for this. So he was contracted with dysentery, which led to kidney failure. Ouch. This was Goldblum's hero, as he credits Rick for his interest in jazz music while growing up. And he stated that his brother's early death made him more focused and gave him a determination, as he said, to save myself and survive. Let's have some pictures of Jeffrey. That's all right. You can give me the whole thing. And I think you can all recognize him. As for what he looks great on the Facebook thing, what I've got going, it looks great with that. But anyway, there is Jeff. And here is the young lad at the piano. Okay. Still got the same look to himself as always. And there's for Facebook people. There we go. And here he is, a little bit older, big smile on his face, and a piano in his hands. And it wasn't until maybe a couple of years ago that I never knew that he was such a big jazz freak. And Jazz Freak, by the way, is my name on Spotify. And that he was such a good player. This is a little bit older, a little bit rougher, and a little bit more intense. So, looks a lot like me with those glasses, right? No? Okay. Well, you don't have to agree. And one more. There he is, the thinker. We always like to show a thinker amongst our various pictures. But Jeff moved to New York City at 17 to become an actor, and he worked on the stage and made his Broadway debut. Soon after, he made his film debut with Charles Bronson in Death Wish, and a brief part in Annie Hall. I don't remember him in either one, but I was not a big Death Wish kind of person. Annie Hall I thought was amazing, but not the kind of movie I want to watch every day. Goldblum has starred in over 66 films. And did you know that Jeff played jazz piano at lounges at the age 14 and pursued his career in acting? Now, let me just throw in that, let me do this. Here is one of his latest albums. He does albums, and I need to check, but right up to the time that the lockdown came, he was playing on Vermont in Los Angeles at a place that used to be called Sarno's, where even I sang at and everybody else did while getting drunk on cold iced red wine. And I think I probably threw up in their hallway to the bathroom more than any other place while going to college. Anyway, this is the album. It's Sharon, and he's got some singers on here. Sharon Van Eaton, Ingra George, Miley Cyrus, Fiona Apple, Anna Calvi, Gina Saputo, and Gregory Porter, and he does one singing himself. But really, a really good jazz pianist, and I hope he still appears weekly. It used to be every Wednesday at this place on Vermont, just inland or east of the 101. But in 2014, he formed the Mildred Snitzer Orchestra, Snitzer. And I don't know where that name comes from or what, but I'd like to find out. That album I just showed you is he with the Mildred Snitzer Orchestra, and they released their debut record in 2018. I'm not sure when that record came out. I think that was afterwards. The group met at Rockwell Table and Stage. That's what the place is called now, Rockwell Table and Stage in Los Angeles on a weekly basis. The venue is currently closed, but that could be because of the COVID situation. And Jeff has a statue made of his likeness installed near the Tower Bridge in London. Now, do we know why there's a statue of him near the Tower Bridge in London? Anyway,
They like him.
He can wiggle both his ears at one time, as demonstrated on Late Night with Conan O'Brien. Now, I'm going to show you, in case you thought that I had no talent whatsoever. Don't say anything. Huh? I don't know. I can actually wiggle one at a time, and I can wiggle them both. So, yeah, from outer space. Now, people say they don't understand how I can do that, but it's just like wiggling your finger, you wiggle your ears. So I do have talent, in case you're thinking I ain't got no talent. He sold pencils to prisoners in correctional facilities as he spent time as a pencil salesman between acting gigs. Anyway, here's a short list of his films. Invasion of the Body Snatchers, 1978. Director Philip Kaufman, starred Donald Sutherland, Leonard Nimoy, Brooke Adams, and Veronica Cartwright, the Screamer. And here's a couple things. Here is a soundtrack album. Remember when albums were going out of style? They did this punch thing, and you could buy it for cheap, and I did. But it's always good to have. I've got so many soundtracks. Have we played this lately? I don't remember.
I think a week
so.
ago. Yeah.
Anyway, here is this. Now, of course, I still like the first Body Snatchers. I believe there's at least 4 of them. Let me think. 1, 2, 3. I can think of 4.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the second best, and the first best would be the one with the one directed by Siegel, who played a taxi driver in this one as just a bit role. The Big Chill, 1983. Director, do we have that? No, Lawrence Kasdan. And that starred Glenn Close, William Hurt, Kevin Kline, and the film was nominated for 3 Oscars. And again, the Buckaroo Banzai, Across the Eighth Dimension, 1984. And I think we gave you all this, so I don't need to tell you again, so I won't tell you that it was directed by W.D. Richter, starred Peter Weller, Ellen Barkin, John Lithgow. Oh, we do have his name this time. And Christopher Lloyd. And
That's why they have their picture taken.
this
together.
is, yeah, and of course we showed you the picture of them together. The Fly, 1986, director David Cronenberg, starred Gina Davis. Film won Academy Award for Best Makeup. I like Cronenberg, I do. That film, I'm not quite so sure about. Jurassic Park, 1993, director Steven Spielberg, starred Laura Dern, Sam Neill, Richard Attenborough, Samuel L. Jackson, and the film nominated for 3 Academy Awards and won all 3. Here is a late model. I wonder if there's anything. Oh, it's all right. We don't need to take it out. Maybe you can take this as we go on. This is the soundtrack. This just came out on Mondo. There's 2 really good, I think, really good soundtrack uh, labels. One is Death Waltz. Don't ask me where the name came from. The other one is Mondo. This is a Mondo, and they're very good. You might want to see if there's anything in there. You know, the gatefold part. Independence Day, which we've of course talked about 100 times, and is also one of the best, one of the 2 Fourth of July movies, that and Jaws. Director Roland Emmerich, starring Will Smith. Yeah, you all know what this is. Bill Pullman, and the film was nominated for 2 Oscars and won 1 for Best Effects, but it did very, very well. And anything in there?
Blue.
Oh, yeah, let me
And
see
then the
the.
picture.
Here's just for the heck of it. This is, and it's awfully dark, so I don't know if you can. That's what the gatefold looks like on the Jurassic Park soundtrack, and the records are. Whoop, that one's blue-ish, and that one is the same. So it's kind of cool. They should be facing the other way,
Yeah.
but we won't worry about that right now. The Grand Budapest Hotel, 2014. Love that movie. Did you see that movie, Sean?
No, I sure didn't.
I would highly recommend. I don't know. Would you call this a comedy? Or I'm not big on comedies, but I was big on this movie.
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
And who knows? I mean, very imaginative. And directed by Wes Anderson, who he's got this new one. I think we talked about it last week, even.
Yeah.
Uh, because of
Someone
why.
else
But
is-
in any case, it looks like they are resting their laurels for the new one on the imaginative way this one was made. And it is really, 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 really good. I mean, really good. So this starred a lot of people: Ralph Fiennes, Bill Murray, William Defoe. Film nominated for 9 Academy Awards and won 4. Now, who else has a birthday today? No, it's tomorrow, so I guess we should just keep talking until tomorrow and bring it up. Hold on while I have a cup of a sip. Sam Raimi, who you know we talk about on several occasions here. He's an American film director, producer, screenwriter, and Raimi, he's spelled R-A-I-M-A. I was born in Michigan to a Jewish family. Well, we have all these Jewish families. I'm not sure why it's important to say that, but so be it. Both of his parents were merchants. He graduated from Grove High School and went to Michigan State University, where he studied English. Would that be in Wayne? I don't know. His father brought home a movie camera, and he began to make Super 8 movies. I guess the reason I didn't end up as director, they didn't have Super 8 when I was a kid. They only had 8, so what can I say? But with his friend Bruce Campbell, and of course Bruce Campbell with the Oldsmobile, who we've talked about, is in every one of the films that either Bruce or Sam is involved in. It's like their good luck thingy. So when Sam's father brought home a movie camera, he began to make Super 8 movies with his friend Bruce Campbell in 1975. And through family, friends, and a network of investors, he was able to finance the production of the highly successful horror film The Evil Dead in 1981 and launched his career as a film director. Love that movie. Let's get some pictures. Boy, I'm dried out as an old man. Who's that with him?
Elfman, Danny Elfman.
Oh, all right. There he is. Sam Raimi with Danny Elfman, who writes the music for most or all of his films. And, of course, Sam on this side here.
Bruce Campbell.
And it's a little dark, but you can, God, it's hard to recognize who is who. Here he is with Bruce Campbell. And who's he with here? Himself.
Yep.
And a camera. Thither he is. Okay. Now, Evil Dead, I stayed away with for a while because although I like horror films, I don't like slasher type. But you know what? This really wasn't the slasher type. This one has a huge amount of humor and good fun, even though people are killed off right and left. So here's a short list of Sam Raimi films. We'll start with Evil Dead, 1981, starring Bruce Campbell. Raimi also directed Evil Dead 2. So here is a, oh, look at the ear on the other side. This is a representation of the Necronomicon, which is talked about in there, and I believe also from Lovecraft. And this is the Book of the Dead. And in this case, since we're looking at it, is the Book of the Alive. I just think it's pretty cool. This was the DVD set. I don't want to show you every page. That's kind of cool. And that's kind of cool. Also, and little booklet also that comes with it, and the DVD is in here also. So there. And before this ran out of batteries, you'd press on it and it would make noises also. Anyway, Darkman, which I know I have out here. Oh, there's Evil Dead 2. Too frightening, too terrifying, and too much. Evil Dead 2, Dead by Dawn. And also humorous, a lot of fun. Bruce Campbell steals the show. I mean, I think Bruce Campbell had a lot to do with the success of these two films. Also, it says Evil Dead 2 is one of the goofiest, goriest movies this side of the grave. No, I don't think it's that gory. And the director of the show is agreeing. I think that was just put in there to help sell records. And Darkman was really, really, really inventive. And when I saw Darkman, it reminded me of films like The Bat and some really early stuff, which I wish I had pulled out to show you. But some of the like early 1930s, early
Shadow.
The what?
The Shadow.
Also,
well,
yeah,
maybe no,
yeah.
not really.
Anyway, Darkman starred Liam Neeson, Frances McDormand, and just really inventive. Army of Darkness is sometimes called Evil Dead 3, but when that happened, he had already been picked up. We have several copies. That's why I keep this broomstick edition sealed up for now, anyway. Anchor Bay, best horror. Anyway. Army of Darkness, like I said, sometimes called Evil Dead 3, but it is more in tune with the large studio type thing. And here is a laser disc of it, but this one is from, it's all Japanese, so no. The difference here is that in the American version, they changed the ending to a, I don't know, maybe a happier, it went back to S-Mart, where he fought the witch another time and won. In this film, the ending is he shows up on the beach, just like the ending of Planet of the Apes. And he had said the wrong words to get back in time, which was the words that in the book of that were the same words that were in the day the earth stood still, and for humorous sake. And of course, he screwed it up and ended up at a different time. So I think that's a much better ending, to tell you the truth. And with that, well, we've got this, and we're going to show you more of this when we come back, because it's got some really neat stuff, and you know what stuff is.